Welcome to my lesson on adding and subtracting fractions. In this lesson we are going to work out and relate solving fractions concretely with pattern fraction blocks, pictorially using illustration, and symbolically using algebra, numbers and symbols. Section of the video, we're going to do a little tutorial on how to create the pattern blocks, starting with the one whole piece, which is the pink double hexagon. So when you open up Sketchup, you'll find this little template lady here. Let's click and delete and back up a little bit, get some perspective. Now we're going to grab our polygon, which happens to conveniently be the hexagon. So click centrally, let's drag it out to maybe a radius of 2 meters. So I'm going to let go, type 2 and hit enter, and it just locks onto 2 as your radius. Now, we want a double hexagon, so let's click Control C, Control V, and let's attach these guys from corner. We'll just lock on there to corner. Alright, good. Now, we need to get some depth, so we're going to grab our push-pull tool and move this surface up maybe 0.5, how about half? This one up, and instead of typing in 0.5 this time, I'm just going to zap to that height and it'll match. Release, and now we need to give it some color. So go to your paint tool, find the pink, that looks about right, and then add the color. Scroll around, make sure you get every side. Okay, so from here on in, if you're comfortable making the other pieces, that is the 1/2, 1/3, 1/4, 1/6, and 1/12 piece, make them all different colors, match the pattern blocks that we use in class, feel free to go ahead and I challenge you to create the rest of those pieces. If you want a bit more help, then I would ask you to stick around and we'll go through how to make the rest of those pieces. So what's going to happen in class is everybody's going to get a random fraction, addition, or subtraction question. As an example, which we're going to go through together, if you were given 1/3 plus 1/4, I'd like you to grab the 3D text and write 1/3 plus 1/4, or whatever problem that you've got. From there, I want you to use the appropriate pieces to represent what you've been given. So 1/3, you've got the 1/3 piece. 1/4, you've got the 1/4 piece. Now, link those shapes together best you can. Now, you may make a shape like the 1/2 piece, or you double hexagon, or something familiar, or not, like this. But that's fine, just link them together best you can. And solving concretely, adding these two fractions with different pieces, unlike denominators. The trick is, can you cover the 1/3 and the 1/4 with one type of piece entirely? And the answer is, in this case, yes, you can. You need the 1/12 piece, and if you rotate these accordingly, moving them accordingly, you can cover the entire area with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 12ths. So your final solution is 7/12. This is what I'd like every student to do. Of course, they're only going to start with the question. The rest is up to you. If you feel comfortable creating the rest of the pattern blocks after the double hexagon, the one whole, skip the rest of the video. If, however, you want a bit more help, then just continue to watch and stop whenever you feel comfortable. Now to make the 1/2 piece, the yellow piece, I'm going to hit Control V, and that previously saved hexagon should come right back up. Alright, let's move to that. Now we want to pull that up, same height, so you can type in 0.5 and enter, or zap to the previously established height there. And then of course we want to color this, paint it rather, yellow. So let's get a nice bright yellow good. Yellow, 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 all the way around. Bottom, all the sides. And you're done. Since we're finished working with the double hexagon, I am going to scroll over top of both of them, highlighting the whole piece, right click, and I'm going to make it a group. Alright, now I can move it about whichever way I please. I can shrink it by hitting Control 9 when it's highlighted. I can shrink its size. Now if I didn't make this a group, it would only shrink one part of it, one section of it, and the shape itself would get warped. So now that it's its own piece and we're not going to use it anymore, you should always make it a group. I'm not going to make this a group yet because if you want to stay with me for a few more minutes, I can go through, help you out to try to make the rest of the fraction blocks. Okay, I'm going to base them all off this 1/2 though. Okay, that's going to be the key. We're not going to start from scratch. We're going to cut apart this 1/2 piece to make the rest of them, the 1/3, the 1/4, the 1/6, and the 1/12. We're now going to look at building the remainder of the pieces, and we'll start with the 1/3. Now I'm not going to make this 1/2 piece into a group yet because we're going to use that and carve it out to build the rest of the pieces. I'm just going to make a few copies to play with. In case we make a mistake, we've just got more templates to go from. Now I'm going to grab one of them and make that into a group. And we'll move that aside, and that's done. Oops, don't need to rotate that. Alrighty, let's make the 1/3 piece. Let's try this one here. Now you remember the 1/3 piece looks kind of like the Pac-Man. It's a black piece, represents 1/3 of the whole, the double hexagon, and it's made by coming to the center and back out, and then grabbing one side, okay, the part that we don't want, and pushing it right down to the ground. Nullifying it basically. Alright, now get your colors out, paint it black all the way around, and we won't be working with this anymore, although we could work with that. So I'm gonna control paste a couple extra. We might use one of those to make some of our remaining pieces, but I am gonna again grab the original, make it a group, and move it over to the side with the established pieces. Alright, let's continue on. Now let's go to the 1/2 piece again to make our quarter. And for this, we're just going to draw a line right through the center. Okay, endpoint to endpoint. Pick 1/2 and push it down to the ground. Looks good. And of course we're going to paint it red. Get this. It's a pretty dark red, I think. Yeah, that looks about right. So once we're finished with this one, we've just got the the 1/6 and the 1/12 remaining. So if you'd like to stop here and try to make those yourself, stop the video and go ahead, have some fun. In this final section of the video, we're going to create the remaining pattern block pieces. But first, I gotta make a little correction there. Okay, we gotta touch up the sides here with some black paint. It's just bugging me. Alright, time to move on. Alrighty, let's do the blue, the 1/6 piece, using one of these. Let's carve out a line to here, a line to here, this endpoint. You may not see it, but we've created some pieces that we can get rid of here and here. And we're going to paint this now a dark blue. And there we have your 1/6 piece. I'm going to get every side this time, all the way around. Rotate, rotate, orbit, orbit, and we're done. Now we could use that to make our 1/12, our final piece. So we're gonna Control C, Control V. Also gonna maybe make this one into a group. So right click, make group, and we'll move that over. The rest of them that are already done. And we just need to split this one in half, taking it from 1/6 to 1/12. Push that to the ground and make it green. I'm not quite sure what shade of green, I forget, but that looks pretty accurate. Every side. Let's do this right. Alright, and we'll make it a group and bring it over. Right click, make group, and move it over here. Alright, so we have our 1 whole, we have our 1/2, 1/3, 1/4, 1/6, and finally 1/12. And we can delete these pieces. Don't need them anymore. There's our pattern block set. Okay, so now we're going to add and subtract fractions concretely using these. And you're going to share your results and your images with your group. If you're really struggling trying to make the pattern blocks, I'll give you a really quick fix. But only do this if you've really tried, okay? I've already made the pattern blocks and uploaded it to the 3D warehouse. So if you simply search for fraction pattern blocks, okay, you'll see the file that I uploaded not too long ago. Click it, and you want to download it right onto your model. So hit OK, give it a second, and voila, there are your pieces. Now you may want to ungroup these so that you can work with them individually, but there they are.